Welcome to Divine Therapy Inc. Before we descend into the quiet valley of this story, I want you to find a position of absolute and total relaxation. Today, we are going to explore the architecture of your worth. We are speaking to the part of you that feels there is never enough time, never enough money, never enough love, or never enough of you. We are addressing the scarcity mindset, that whispering fear that tells you the world is a desert and you must fight for every drop. Allow your body to sink into the surface beneath you. Let your breath become a slow, deep rhythmic tide. This is the story of a man named Soren and the infinite well. Soren lived in the kingdom of the thirsty. In this land, the ground was parched and cracked, and the people spent every waking hour guarding their small jars of water. There was a belief in this kingdom that there was only a finite amount of life force to go around. If your neighbor found success, you felt you had lost yours. If a friend found love, you felt there was less love left for you. The people lived in a state of constant comparison and hidden envy. Soren was a master of this small jar living. He clutched his possessions tightly to his chest. He was afraid to share his ideas, afraid to spend his time, and afraid to open his heart, for he was certain that once his jar was empty, it would never be refilled. He lived in a mental desert, even when he had plenty, because his mind was always focused on the not enough. One night, Soren had a dream of a mountain peak that glowed with a soft, sapphire light. At the top of this mountain sat a stone guardian next to a simple, moss-covered well. Driven by a thirst that physical water could not quench, Soren began the long climb. He carried his heavy jar with him, unwilling to let go of the little he had. The climb was grueling. The higher he went, the more he saw others struggling, but he kept his head down, fearful that if he helped anyone, he would lose his momentum. He reached the summit exhausted, his jar nearly empty, and his spirit bone dry. The stone guardian looked at Soren's small, cracked jar and smiled with a sound like shifting gravel. He said, "Soren, you have climbed a mountain to find a well, yet you are still holding onto a cup of dust. Why do you cling to the finite when you are standing in the presence of the infinite?" Soren replied, "I am afraid. If I let go of this, I have nothing. If the well runs dry, I will perish." The guardian gestured to the well. This is the well of the first source. It does not pull from the rain or the ground, it pulls from the heart of the divine. In this well, the law of the desert is reversed. In the desert, if you give, you have less. In this well, the more you pour out, the faster the water rises. You have been living your life as a vessel that only receives. Today, I want you to become a vessel that flows. Soren looked into the well. The water was a deep, crystalline blue, pulsing with a light that seemed to breathe. With trembling hands, he poured his small jar of stagnant water into the well. Then, he dipped his jar into the sapphire depths and drank. It was the sweetest, most vibrant liquid he had ever tasted. He felt a surge of energy, not just in his body, but in his mind. He realized that abundance was not a mountain of gold coins, it was a state of being. It was the realization that he was connected to a source that could never be exhausted. The guardian gave him a task. Go back to the valley. But do not carry the water in your jar. Carry the well in your heart. Every time you see a person in need, pour into them. Every time you have a creative thought, share it. Do not worry about the bottom of the well, for the well has no bottom. The only way to keep the water fresh is to keep it moving. If you stop the flow, the water turns to salt. Soren returned to the kingdom of the thirsty, but he was no longer a man of the small jar. He began to live with an open hand. When a neighbor struggled, he offered his time and his wisdom. When he found a new way to plant crops, he taught the whole village. The people were shocked. They waited for Soren to run out, for him to become a beggar. But the opposite happened. The more Soren gave, the more opportunities seemed to find him. His jar was never empty because he was no longer trying to store the water, he was becoming a channel for it. He realized that the universe is not a pie with limited slices, it is an expanding banquet. If you are listening to this today, and you feel the thirst of scarcity, I want you to take a deep, slow breath. I want you to notice where you are clutching your jar too tightly. Are you afraid to start a business because everyone is already doing it? Are you afraid to love because you've been hurt before? Are you holding back your talents because you don't think they're good enough? The divine is standing with you at the infinite well today. Scarcity is an illusion created by the fear of the ego. Abundance is the truth of the spirit. You are a child of a creator who made billions of galaxies. Do you truly believe he has run out of ideas for your life? Do you truly believe there isn't enough joy to go around? Visualize yourself standing at the top of that sapphire mountain. See your small jar, your fears, your budgets, your limited beliefs. Now, see yourself pouring them into the infinite well. Watch as the sapphire water rises to meet you. Feel the cool, vibrant energy of more than enough washing over your mind. Take a long, deep breath in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds, feeling the richness in your lungs. Now, as you exhale for 8 seconds, visualize yourself opening your hands. Release the grip. Release the envy. Release the not enough. You are not a bucket, you are a river. And a river is only healthy when it is flowing toward the sea. At Divine Therapy Inc., we want you to live from the source. We know the world teaches you to grab and guard, but the soul knows how to give and grow. Practice the law of the flow today. Give a compliment. Share an idea. Offer a moment of your time. Notice how the water in your own well begins to sparkle. Stay in this space of infinite abundance for a few more minutes. Feel the wealth of your own breath. Feel the luxury of this moment of peace. You are rich in spirit, you are connected to the source, and you are living in a universe that wants you to thrive. Thank you for trusting us with your journey. You are the infinite well in motion. Until next time, stay in the flow and remain in the light.